There are teams, and then there are empires. In the world of sports, no name carries more weight, more history, more mystique than the New York Yankees. The New York Yankees, the most storied franchise in Major League Baseball history. 27 World Series championships, a roll call of legends, moments that define not just a team, but an era. In this video, we bring you 30 of the greatest Yankees players ever, their stories, their records, their lasting legacies. From the early days to the modern era, each one changed the game. This is not just a list of statistics, but a chronicle of titans. We count down the 30 greatest players to ever don the iconic navy blue and white. Number 30, Dave Winfield. Dave Winfield arrived in New York in 1981 as one of the most complete athletes baseball had ever seen. A Hall of Fame outfielder with power, discipline, and a cannon arm, Winfield was already a star before becoming a Yankee. His tenure in New York was complicated, shaped by expectations, media pressure, and clashes with owner George Steinbrenner, but his performance never wavered. Winfield helped lead the Yankees to the 1981 World Series and was a consistent offensive force throughout the decade. He hit over .290 as a Yankee, drove in runs year after year, and remained one of the league's most feared right-handed hitters. Though he won his World Series ring later with Toronto, his Yankees years remain a major chapter in franchise history. Number 29, Mel Stottlemyre. Mel Stottlemyre never chased headlines, he simply showed up and pitched. From 1964 to 1974, Stottlemyre was the backbone of Yankees pitching during a difficult transitional era. He led the American League in wins 3 times and finished his career with 164 victories, all with New York. Despite receiving poor run support for much of his career, he consistently posted strong ERAs and remained one of the most reliable starters in baseball. His legacy deepened even more after retirement. As a pitching coach, Stottlemyre helped guide Yankees staff through multiple championship runs in the 1990s. Few figures in Yankees history have served the organization with such quiet excellence for so long. Number 28, Bob Shawkey. Bob Shawkey was a bridge between eras, a dependable left-hander who pitched for the Yankees from 1915 to 1927. He won over 140 games in pinstripes and played a key role during the franchise's early rise to dominance. Shawkey was part of multiple championship teams and later became manager of the Yankees in the late 1920s. Though he followed the impossible act of Babe Ruth's peak era, his contribution to stabilizing the franchise during its formative years cannot be overstated. Number 27, Brett Gardner. Brett Gardner represents something rare in modern baseball: loyalty, durability, and adaptability. Debuting in 2008, Gardner spent his entire career with the Yankees. He wasn't the flashiest player, but he became the heartbeat of the clubhouse. A Gold Glove winning left fielder with elite speed and strong on-base skills, Gardner played a crucial role on the 2009 World Series championship team. As stars came and went, Gardner remained. He transitioned from leadoff hitter to veteran leader, from speed-first defender to power contributor later in his career. His grit and consistency made him one of the most respected Yankees of his generation. Number 26, Graig Nettles. If defense could tell stories, Graig Nettles would have chapters written about him. Nettles played third base for the Yankees during the turbulent and successful late 1970s. He was an elite defender, widely regarded as one of the greatest defensive third basemen in baseball history. His performance in the 1978 World Series, especially his defense against the Dodgers, remains legendary. Nettles hit over 250 home runs in his career and provided power from the left side while anchoring the infield. He was a cornerstone of the Yankees' back-to-back championships in 1977 and 1978. Number 25, Robinson Cano. Robinson Cano's swing looked effortless, but the damage was very real. From 2005 to 2013, Cano was one of the most consistent hitters in baseball. A multiple-time All-Star and Gold Glove winner at second base, he combined power, average, and defensive excellence. His 2009 postseason performance was instrumental in the Yankees' championship run, though his career later became complicated by controversies elsewhere. His Yankees years remain undeniable. At his peak, Cano was arguably the best second baseman in the game. Number 24, Earl Combs. Combs. Earl Combs was speed, elegance, and precision rolled into one. Playing center field for the Yankees in the 1920s and early 1930s, Combs was a key member of the legendary Murderers Row lineup. He hit for high average, scored runs in bunches, and played strong defense in the outfield. Combs was part of 3 World Series championship teams and later became a Hall of Famer. His style represented the early Yankees: fast, disciplined, and relentless. Number 23, Tony Lazzeri. Tony Lazzeri was one of the most productive second basemen of his era. Joining the Yankees in 1926, Lazzeri became a core piece of their dynasty years. He drove in runs at an incredible pace, hit for power, and provided stability in the infield. Lazzeri famously recorded one of baseball's rare natural cycles and finished his career with over 1,000 RBIs. A 5-time World Series champion, Lazzeri's consistency made him indispensable during the Yankees' most dominant period. Number 22, Willie Randolph. Willie Randolph brought intelligence and calm to second base. From 1976 to 1988, Randolph was one of the best defensive second basemen in the American League. He paired beautifully with shortstop teammates to anchor the Yankees' middle infield. Randolph also contributed offensively with patience and situational hitting. He was part of multiple postseason teams and later returned to the organization as a coach, continuing his connection to Yankees baseball. Number 21, Red Ruffing. Red Ruffing's career is one of baseball's great transformations. After struggling early with the Boston Red Sox, Ruffing joined the Yankees in 1930 and became a completely different pitcher. He won 231 games with New York and became one of the most dependable starters in franchise history. Ruffing played a vital role in 6 World Series championships and was known for his durability and clutch performances. He later entered the Hall of Fame, his legacy forever tied to the Yankees' golden years. Number 20, Elston Howard. A pioneer and a champion. In 1955, Elston Howard broke the color barrier for the Yankees, carrying a burden of immense pressure with grace and skill. But his legacy is far more than that of a trailblazer. But his story is one of triumph, not just trial. A gifted athlete, he was a 2-time Gold Glove winner who successfully transitioned from the outfield to become one of the league's premier catchers. He was an incredible catcher, a 12-time All-Star, and the 1963 American League MVP. His ability to manage pitchers and deliver in clutch moments made him the steady presence behind the plate for multiple championship teams. His presence changed the franchise forever. Number 19, Lefty Gomez. He was the wisecracking ace of a dynasty defined by stoic superstars. Vernon Lefty Gomez was the charismatic left-hander on the mound for the great Yankee teams of the 1930s. A 4-time All-Star and a 2-time Triple Crown winner for pitchers, Gomez was as famous for his wit as he was for his looping curveball. But when it was time to pitch, he was all business, especially in the postseason. He started 5 World Series games and won them all, posting a perfect 6-0 record in the Fall Classic, a mark of unmatched brilliance under pressure. A Hall of Famer and a 5-time champion, Lefty was the joyful, winning personality at the heart of a juggernaut. He reminded everyone, even in the heat of a pennant race, that baseball was supposed to be fun. Number 18, Roger Maris. For decades, Maris held one of the most sacred records in sports, the 61 home runs in a single season, set in 1961. The pressure he faced that year was intense, with fans and media comparing him to the greats, but Maris stayed focused and delivered. Maris never sought the spotlight, and that's part of what made him unforgettable. He was a reluctant superstar, a man who let his bat speak for him. Beyond the record, he was a 2-time MVP, a 3-time World Series champion, and one of the most respected right fielders in team history. His quiet personality and determination made him an unlikely but unforgettable hero. Today, Maris is remembered not only for the home run chase that defined a generation, but also for the grit and dignity with which he carried himself through one of the most intense seasons any athlete has ever faced. Number 17, Ron Guidry. Ron Guidry, better known by his electric nickname Louisiana Lightning, was the fiery ace who struck fear into hitters every time he took the mound. His wiry frame and explosive delivery made him look like a coiled spring ready to snap, and when he did, the results were devastating. Guidry's 1978 season remains one of the single greatest campaigns ever by a pitcher in Major League history. He went 25-3 with a microscopic 1.74 ERA, striking out an incredible 248 batters. Fans fans still remember June 17, 1978, the night Guidry turned Yankee Stadium into his personal showcase. Facing the California Angels, he struck out 18 batters in a single game, a record for the franchise that still stands. It was a moment of pure electricity, a performance so dominating that it instantly became part of Yankee lore. By the time he retired, Louisiana Lightning had become a legend in the Bronx. His number 49 was eventually retired by the Yankees, a permanent reminder of the season he ruled baseball and the fire he brought to the mound every fifth day. Number 16, Andy Pettitte. If there was a big game in the late 1990s or 2000s, there's a good chance Andy Pettitte was standing on the mound, calmly staring in for the sign. Pettitte wasn't flashy, he wasn't loud, but he was the heartbeat of the Yankees pitching staff during one of the most dominant eras in baseball history. A homegrown Yankee, Pettitte made his debut in 1995 and quickly became a cornerstone of the dynasty teams that would win 4 victim of his left-handed lightning throw to first. By the time he retired, Pettitte had become a symbol of reliability. His number 46 now hangs in Monument Park, a permanent reminder of the left-hander who embodied consistency and clutch pitching for nearly 2 decades. Number 15, Thurman Munson. Thurman Munson wasn't just the Yankees catcher, he was their heartbeat. In the 1970s, when the franchise was clawing its way back to greatness, Munson became the steady force that held everything together. Tough, fearless, and fiercely competitive, Munson played the game with a blue-collar edge that perfectly reflected the grit of New York City at the time. When the Yankees named him captain in 1976, he became the first to hold that honor since Lou Gehrig. He wasn't the flashiest player, but he was the one his teammates trusted when the game was on the line. On the field, Munson's numbers speak for themselves. He was a 7-time All-Star, a 3-time Gold Glove winner, and the 1976 American League MVP. He led the Yankees to 3 straight World Series appearances and back-to-back championships in 1977 and 1978, becoming one of the most clutch hitters in October. His duels with the Dodgers and his fierce rivalry with Carlton Fisk of the Red Sox became part of Yankee lore. Number 14, Bernie Williams. Bernie Williams was the quiet star of the Yankees' late 90s dynasty, the calm center in the storm of New York baseball. Spending his entire career in pinstripes from 1991 to 2006, Bernie patrolled center field with grace, making difficult plays look effortless and gliding across the grass with a smoothness that seemed almost artistic. At the plate, Bernie was the definition of consistency. A switch hitter with a silky swing from both sides, he delivered gap-to-gap power, drove in runs when it mattered, and had a knack for coming through in the biggest moments. His clutch performances were the backbone of the Yankees' run of 4 World Series titles in 5 years. Time and again, Bernie delivered. Whether it was a go-ahead home run, a line drive double into the gap, or just a steadying presence in the middle of the order, his 1996 postseason was legendary, as he earned ALCS MVP honors and helped the Yankees capture their first championship in 18 years, kicking off one of the most dominant stretches in baseball history. Number 13, Bill Dickey. Before Yogi Berra became the face of catching excellence in New York, there was Bill Dickey, the man who set the gold standard behind the plate. Known for his powerful bat and rock-solid defense, Dickey was the rare catcher who could do it all. He had a sweet left-handed swing, tailor-made for Yankee Stadium, and produced in the clutch, helping lead the Yankees to 8 World Series championships during his career. Dickey's impact on the Yankees extended well beyond his playing days. After retiring, he became a mentor to a young Yogi Berra, passing down the knowledge and skills that would help Berra become one of the greatest catchers of all time. His number 8 jersey was eventually retired by the Yankees, sharing the honor with his protege Berra. Number 12, Don Mattingly. Don Mattingly, affectionately known as Donnie Baseball, was the beating heart of the New York Yankees throughout the 1980s and early 1990s. At a time when the Yankees were struggling to recapture the glory of their dynasty years, Mattingly became the franchise's shining light, a player whose skill, grit, and professionalism gave fans a reason to believe every single night. Mattingly was one of the purest hitters of his era. He sprayed line drives to all fields, piled up doubles, and could turn on a pitch for home run power when needed. In 1985, 1995, Mattingly had one of the most memorable seasons in Yankees history, hitting .324 with 35 homers, 145 RBIs, and winning the American League MVP award. He won 9 Gold Gloves in his career, a testament to the standard of excellence he set in the field. The sight of Mattingly taking one final curtain call at Yankee Stadium remains one of the most emotional moments in team history. Number 11, Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson wasn't just a player, he was a showman, a headline maker, and the man who brought star power and swagger back to the Bronx. Known forever as Mr. October, Reggie became the face of Yankees baseball in the late 1970s, a time when the team was as dramatic off the field as it was dominant on it. When Jackson arrived in New York in 1977, he came with a big bat and an even bigger personality. He was built for New York. The pressure, the drama, the attention, he embraced it all. Over his 5 seasons with the Yankees, Reggie helped lead the team to back-to-back championships in 1977 and 1978, providing the clutch power bat they needed in the middle of the order. Reggie Jackson made the Yankees feel larger than life again, and in October, nobody shined brighter. Number 10, Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge isn't just the face of the modern Yankees, he's the embodiment of their future. Standing at 6'7", Judge's presence is impossible to ignore, and his towering home runs have made him one of the most feared hitters in baseball. In 2022, he captivated the sports world by breaking Roger Maris's 61-year-old American League single-season home run record, crushing 62 home runs and cementing his place in baseball history. Though his career is still in progress, Judge has already given Yankees fans countless moments to remember, from mammoth homers that seem to defy physics to clutch late-inning hits that turn games around. If his first several seasons are any indication, Aaron Judge is on pace to be mentioned alongside Ruth, Gehrig, DiMaggio, and Mantle as one of the greatest Yankees of all time. Number 9, Whitey Ford. Whitey Ford, affectionately known as the chairman of the board, was the ultimate big-game pitcher for the New York Yankees. Pitching from 1950 to 1967, Ford became the winningest pitcher in Yankees history with 236 victories, a record that still stands. He wasn't the hardest thrower of his time, but what set Ford apart was his masterful control, his ability to outthink hitters, and his unshakable composure on the mound. Ford pitched in 11 World Series, an astonishing feat that speaks to how consistently the Yankees were in contention during his career. He won 6 championships and still holds the records for most World Series wins, 10, most strikeouts, 94, and most consecutive scoreless innings. Ford was more than just a pitcher. He was the strategic anchor of the Yankees dynasty. He worked closely with Yogi Berra, forming one of the most legendary pitcher-catcher duos in baseball history. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1974, and to this day, his legacy as the ace of the Yankees' golden era remains untouched. Number 8, Alex Rodriguez. Alex Rodriguez's time with the Yankees was nothing short of dramatic, a career defined by breathtaking highs and controversial lows. But his talent and production cannot be denied. A-Rod joined the Yankees in 2004 in one of the biggest trades in baseball history, bringing with him immense expectations as the best player of his generation. While his tenure in New York was often polarizing, he still delivered at an elite level. Rodriguez won 2 American League MVP awards with the Yankees, becoming the offensive force the team needed to stay competitive in the mid-2000s. His 2007 season remains one of the greatest in Yankees history, as he crushed 54 home runs, drove in 156 runs, and carried the team to the postseason. But perhaps the defining moment of A-Rod's Yankees career came during the 2009 postseason, when he silenced critics by delivering clutch hit after clutch hit. By the time he retired, A-Rod had hit 696 career home runs, good for 4th on the all-time list, and compiled a resume that ensures his place among the most talented players to ever wear pinstripes. Number 7, Mariano Rivera. Mariano Rivera, the legendary closer who may be the most universally respected Yankee of them all. Rivera's career was defined by excellence, class, and a singular pitch, the cut fastball, a devastating weapon that broke countless bats and hitters' hearts for nearly 20 seasons. Rivera holds the record for most career saves, 652, a number that may never be matched. But it was in October where he became truly untouchable. In 96 postseason appearances, performances, Rivera posted a mind-blowing 0.70 ERA, meaning he was nearly perfect over the equivalent of more than a full season's worth of playoff games. Rivera was known for his humility and grace, earning respect even from rival fan bases. In 2019, he became the first player ever unanimously elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame, a testament to just how universally admired he was. For Yankees fans, the sight of Rivera jogging in from the bullpen to enter Sandman remains one of the most iconic images in sports history. Number 6. Yogi Berra. Yogi Berra wasn't just one of the most beloved Yankees, he was the very soul of the franchise during its most dominant years. A Hall of Fame catcher who played from 1946 to 1963, Berra's career was defined by winning, consistency, and a personality that transcended the game. Berra is the only player in Major League Baseball history to win 10 World Series championships as a player, a record that speaks to just how central he was to the Yankees' golden era. His good humor, humility, and approachable nature made him a fan favorite, even beyond the Bronx. Number 5. Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter was the face of the New York Yankees for nearly 2 decades. With over 3,400 career hits, a .310 lifetime batting average, and 5 World Series championships, he was a symbol of consistency and excellence. Named to 14 All-Star games and winning the World Series MVP in 2000, Jeter's career was defined by his clutch performances, including the flip and countless postseason heroics. As the Yankees captain, he led with quiet determination and unmatched professionalism. He never won an MVP, but he didn't need to. Jeter's true greatness lay in how he made the routine look beautiful and the impossible look routine. Off the field, he carried himself with class, becoming a role model for millions. Inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2020 with near unanimous support, Derek Jeter's legacy isn't just about rings or records, it's about leadership, longevity, and loyalty. Number 4. Joe DiMaggio. Joe DiMaggio is baseball's golden myth, refined, poised, and seemingly touched by the divine. Best known for his 56-game hitting streak in 1941, a record that still stands today, DiMaggio was the embodiment of grace on the field. He played his entire 13-year career with the New York Yankees, winning 9 World Series titles and 3 MVP awards. He hit 361 home runs with a .325 career batting average, all while missing 3 prime years to serve in World War II. DiMaggio was more than just numbers. He was a national icon, especially during wartime. His swing was effortless, his presence regal. Off the field, he became a cultural figure, famously married to Marilyn Monroe and immortalized in songs and poems. His legacy is timeless. DiMaggio represented a golden age of baseball when the game wasn't just entertainment, it was national identity. Number 3. Mickey Mantle. Mickey Mantle was the walking definition of talent and toughness. The switch-hitting center fielder for the New York Yankees blasted 536 home runs, won 3 MVPs, and led his team to 7 World Series championships. He was the face of baseball in the 1950s and 60s, a blue-collar hero with tape-measured home runs and breakneck hustle. Despite battling chronic injuries, some stemming from a blown-out knee as a rookie, Mantle still put together a Hall of Fame career, hitting tape-measure shots that landed in myth. In 1956, he won the Triple Crown, batting .353 with 52 home runs and 130 RBIs. But beyond the stats, Mantle represented the clash of old-school grit and Hollywood fame. He was beloved by working-class fans and adored by the media, yet haunted by personal demons and pain. Still, when it mattered most, on the big stage, Mickey delivered. His legacy is that of a flawed icon who gave everything to the game, often at the cost of his body and peace. Number 2. Lou Gehrig. Lou Gehrig was the embodiment of toughness and excellence. Nicknamed the Iron Horse, he played in 2,130 consecutive games, a record that stood for 56 years. During his career with the New York Yankees, Gehrig hit 493 home runs, batted .340, and drove in an astounding 1,995 RBIs. He won 6 World Series titles and earned 2 MVP awards. But what made Gehrig's legacy immortal was the way he faced tragedy. Diagnosed with ALS, a disease now known as Lou Gehrig's disease, he gave a farewell speech in 1939 where he called himself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. That moment became one of the most emotional in sports history. Gehrig's combination of production, humility, and strength made him a beloved figure. He wasn't just great, he was noble. His story transcends baseball and reminds us that heroes are not only measured by their numbers, but by their grace in adversity. Number 1. Babe Ruth. When it comes to baseball's greatest icon, Babe Ruth stands in a league of his own. Starting his career as a dominant pitcher for the Boston Red Sox, Ruth evolved into the most feared slugger in baseball history. He blasted 714 home runs, a record that stood for nearly 40 years, while maintaining a staggering .342 career batting average. He led the league in home runs 12 times and slugging percentage 13 times. Ruth won 7 World Series titles and was part of the inaugural class inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1936. But his impact goes beyond numbers. He transformed baseball from a low-scoring strategy game into an exciting, power-hitting spectacle that attracted millions. The Yankees became a national brand largely because of Ruth. His personality, confidence, and otherworldly skill helped shape the golden age of sports in the 1920s. Without Babe Ruth, baseball might never have become America's national pastime. So whether you grew up watching Babe Ruth's shadow dominate the sport, cheered as Jeter made the flip, or felt chills when Mariano Rivera jogged in to enter Sandman, this list is a reminder of why we love the game. Because in the Bronx, baseball isn't just played, it's lived, breathed, and celebrated. Thanks for joining us on this trip through Yankees history. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit the like button, share your favorite Yankee moment in the comments, and subscribe for more stories about the legends who made baseball what it is today.